everyone, welcome back. So when I was improvising today, I was kind of paying attention to my left hand. I usually just kind of improvise, but I was kind of just paying attention to the mechanics of it. And I noticed something that I do when I'm playing fast lines that I don't know if everyone does, but it might help some of you if you kind of think of this mindset or concept. You can kind of play with your left hand two ways. You can kind of play with your hand back, kind of angled like this, with everything coming towards your first finger, if that makes sense. So you kind of have everything cocked this way, and you're kind of feeling everything towards this part of your hand. Another way you can play it is if you have the opposite of that, where you're kind of feeling everything towards your little finger. And it's not really a matter of like where the thumb is as much as just kind of where you're feeling like the leverage. That's really the best word, the leverage of it. And you can have it towards your little finger. And I noticed for me that if I have it towards my first finger, when I'm playing sextuplets, my timing's not quite as good. It doesn't feel as good. I'm not just effortless with it. As much as if I have my hand this, kind of feeling it towards my little finger, with my hand kind of straight and everything bouncing off. So it's like this versus like that, if that makes sense. So instead of kind of feeling everything off my first finger, I'm kind of feeling the leverage off my little finger by my hand being even. So I don't know if I explained that very well, but I'll improvise a little bit here. And I'm just going to kind of concentrate on doing everything off my little finger. Or just kind of with the emphasis of feeling the leverage towards this part of the hand instead of this part of the hand. I think it's real easy for us to feel it towards this part of the hand. And you kind of have everything banking off like your first finger. But if you can kind of feel it towards this part of your hand, this part's usually pretty strong. It kind of evens your hand out, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. So let me play a little bit and you guys can hopefully hear what I'm talking about. The chords that I'm using in the progression is A minor, E7, A minor, E7, D minor, E7 with the B in the bass, to E7, back to A minor, back to E7. So that's kind of the rhythm, or the chords I'm playing with the rhythm. So let me improvise a little bit for you and you can check it out. With my hand cocked this way. Describe what I'm feeling when I'm playing faster lines is that if your hand was like this, it almost feels like I'm like that on the neck. Like my little finger is lower than my first finger, even though it's not. But the other way would be almost like this. Like I'm kind of almost feel like my little finger is higher than my first finger. And I think that's a common way for us to play, is to kind of anchor that first finger and feel that. But when I play fast lines, if I do that, I get kind of out of sync and it doesn't feel good. And I kind of struggle a little bit to play real effortless. But if I kind of feel it the other way, where I'm feeling like my hand, like my first finger is almost higher than my little finger, I can play the licks and they're perfectly in time. And I feel real relaxed, whether I'm playing legato or fast picking. So it's kind of an interesting concept I thought I would talk a little bit about today, and improvise around and have some fun. But it's something maybe you can just kind of be aware of, maybe experiment with a little bit and see what you guys think. Do you kind of relate to what I'm talking about, or maybe I'm just in my own little world? It doesn't apply to anyone else but me. But it's a really interesting concept, and it enables me to really relax and play fast lines, even fast legato. my hands real relaxed, and I can just push off. I'm not really hammering, pulling off. I'm kind of pushing off. It's a leverage thing. It's not so much if my thumb is above the neck or below the neck. I can kind of feel the same thing. It just almost feels like my hand is actually lower compared to the neck on my little finger side than my first finger side versus that way, if that makes sense. So it's not about the hand behind the neck, the classical technique. My thumb's over the neck sometimes it's behind. I don't really think about it. You know, I just go for it. When I'm doing legato, it tends to be a little bit behind the neck. If I'm playing like Eric Johnson licks, stuff like that, tends to be over the neck more. But yeah. Side is higher than my little finger side. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to use your little finger to feel this. Now as far as some of the lines I'm playing here, improvising, I'm basically using A harmonic minor over this progression with A minor thrown in some. This is a real fun progression to kind of play. And I've been just throwing some licks in today that we've gone over in other videos, the Yngwie licks, some pedal tones, that kind of thing. And one thing I always like to do that I got from studying a lot of jazz is to hit target notes. So, you know, when I go to that, let me turn it up here. You know, when you go to the E7, I'll hit that third. Minor, I'll throw in the E flat or D sharp. I really like that, and I just have a lot of fun phrasing with that. So when I'm playing there, I can feel that where I'm up like this. Let me play a little bit the other way. I don't really want to, but let me give it a try where I'm feeling it the opposite way that I talk about. You can hear a difference probably. It's weird how just a little variation. So this is with feeling it on the little finger side. Now let me play it where I'm feeling it on the first finger side. little sloppier kind of. Let me try that again. Here's little finger side. Now here's first finger side. See, it doesn't feel right. It feels like it gets away from me. Like my left hand gets away from me. But if it's a weird thing, let me turn this down here. Yeah, it feels like my left hand gets away from me. It's kind of a weird concept. But it's such a slight thing. It could be mental with me, but it feels like I'm pushing down in the little finger side. It's just a slight little thing. This would be the first finger side, and this would be the little finger side. So let's see if there's a difference in angle. My hand's slightly collapsed in this way. This way my hand doesn't collapse in. Initially weird about it, when I first figured it out, I like exaggerated it. You know, my hand position and everything. I felt like I exaggerated, but it was there. It really helped everything dramatically. And then over time, that just kind of felt normal. So if you experiment with it, it might feel weird at first, but it should work. You know, it should feel good. It works. So if everything's working great for you, don't worry about it. But if you have trouble like playing some like the Yngwie lick or some of the faster lines, keeping them in time and in sync, it's worth a try to experiment. Maybe it'll work for you. Like I said, it could just be some kind of weird thing with me. But I spend a lot of time thinking about this stuff. I want to see everyone play great. I want to hear great guitar playing from everyone. And I think everyone can do it. I don't think it's some thing that certain people are born with. I think we can all learn this for sure. So I thought I would just share some of these ideas, and I'll be sharing more of these kind of weird concepts that I don't really see covered by anybody else from time to time. And if someone else has covered this, that's great. Maybe hundreds of people have covered it, and I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos of other guitar players. But anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out with me. It was fun to improvise for you. Like I said, I have an album coming out soon. I'm going to be posting some songs. It's kind of like the music you hear here. Sort of a lot of fast picking. It's all the neoclassical fast picking mixed with the Meola and stuff on the acoustic guitar. So I'm real excited for everyone to hear it. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for hanging out. And to everyone that's liked and subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you haven't, please do. I really appreciate it. So until next time, have fun picking.